the wrong mindset to have as a business owner, period. You should go in it like you know your business is gonna be successful, and you
Yeah.
should treat it that way. Because if you treat it that way and you go in it that way, then it's likely to happen versus you just kind of going in like you don't know or you don't expect it to be big, then you're not going to treat it like it's going to be big, and then it's not going to be big. So I feel
Facts.
like if you're going to start a business, you should go in with the mindset that my business is going to be great, and you should treat it that way. You should go in protecting it from all angles.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of Success is Us. We are here, the only channel, not the only channel, but the best channel that bring on successful people that can share knowledge, inspire you, motivate you, so that you can become successful. And today I have
Shakeria.
Shakeria. I'm sorry about that. Northcross. She is a business lawyer, a business attorney, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Shakeria Northcross. I am a business and entrepreneurship attorney. I help entrepreneurs start up their businesses. I help them get their trademarks and copyrights, and I help them get their contracts in order.
Okay. So, when you say like trademarks and contracts, like what exactly do you do? If that makes sense, do you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So to go in a little more detail, so say for instance, if I have a new entrepreneur coming to me, they don't have anything set up yet. So I can help them register their LLC with their state, which will help to limit their personal liability. I can help them register their trademarks or copyrights. And a trademark is just like, say for instance, if you wanted to protect your business name or if you want to protect your logo, then you register with the federal trademark office, and that allows you to have that legal ownership of that name. And same, kind of similar with the copyright process. Instead, it just applies to like your content. So, like if you have podcast recordings, if you have music, things
Yeah.
like that, it protects
Yeah.
those at the your those type of things at the federal level. And then when it comes to contracts, depending on what type of business you have, especially if you're a service-based business, then more than likely you're doing business with clients. You need a service agreement that lays out the terms between you and your clients, agreement, the fees, and things like that. So I help draft those type of agreements as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. So, how do we get here? You know what I mean? A lot of people, I'll say a lot of people who get law degrees. What school did you go to, first of all?
So I went to the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, and I
Okay.
finished my last year or last semester at Texas Southern Thurgood Marshall School of Law in Houston as a visiting student.
All right, how was it?
Whew, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Like law school was very different for me. I'm not gonna come on here and like sugarcoat it and act like I just breezed through it because I didn't. It was a challenge for me. I feel like it was one of the most challenging things that
Yeah.
I have done personally. And I was one of those people who school was kind of, I won't say it just came easy to me, but I've always done very well in school. Like I was in the top of my class, top 10 in high school. I graduated magna cum laude from undergrad. And then when I got to law school, everything just kind of went left. So it was a challenge, but I was passionate about it. And I feel like that kind of helped me get through it, just my passion for what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So, a lot of people who go out and get law degrees, they have the vision of, okay, I'm gonna get this degree, then I'm gonna go work for a law firm, I'm gonna be a lawyer, or they want to like work up the ranks or whatever. But what made you want to go the entrepreneur route?
So again, going into law school, I had no idea that I would end up where I am now. Like I thought I wanted to eventually become a judge. That had always been my goal since I was a little girl. Like I had
Yeah,
always said
yeah,
that I wanted to be a judge. So I was going into law school thinking I'm going to eventually become a judge. Even so, just picking a particular area of law that I wanted to focus on, I thought I would be like a juvenile attorney. I'm really passionate about working with the youth and just helping the youth pick a better path in life. And so I
yeah.
thought that would be my path that I would take, being starting out working as a juvenile attorney. Um, However, as time went on, I knew that I wanted to live in Houston. And so I did an internship one summer there. And I worked with a minority law firm, and it just kind of opened my eyes up to the possibilities out there when it comes to just being a minority and running your own business and your own
Yeah.
law firm. And then also throughout school, I started to learn more about throughout law school, I started to learn more about like business law. I helping people form their businesses, and then I even took a clinic that allowed me to help. I guess business owners or organizations form their nonprofits and things like that. I started learning more about trademarks in law school, and so I kind of fell in love with that, and I wanted to go that route. And just after graduating, I didn't think that I would jump into entrepreneurship so soon, working for myself or starting my own firm so soon. I thought like maybe after like 5 or 6 years of practicing, I would probably branch out and do my own thing. However, just once you get out there, the area that I'm in, it's not as common for law firms to solely focus on just business law, helping people form their businesses and
Yeah.
get their
Yeah.
trademarks and copyrights and things like that. So it's kind of hard to find something within that area of law, like a job within the area of law. And so that kind of helped to push me to just go out and do my own thing and follow what I was passionate about.
Yeah. So you kind of saw like a need in the market for you, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like basically, like first you wanted to be like criminal, like you were focusing more like criminal law.
Story, yeah. Because if I was going to be dealing with juveniles, it would more likely it would be criminal cases. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Was that transition a little weird for you, or?
Um, Not exactly since I didn't get so far down the line into criminal. I have worked on criminal cases. And even coming out of law school, I did work for a law firm coming out of law school, and I did immigration, and I did working with some criminal, and I've also taken some criminal cases since I've had my own firm. But I haven't gotten so deep into it. I was also still doing things that were business related. So it wasn't a hard transition for me since I was kind of doing both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, you said that you didn't really expect to be an entrepreneur.
No, I did not. And I would even let you know, like people would tell me while I was still in law school, um, that I should start my own law firm. And I would used to tell them like, no, that's not what I want to do. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. Like I was so against like having my own law firm when people would bring that to me. So I'm
I
just
think that's the case.
honestly, um it just wasn't what I saw myself doing. Like I didn't at the time I didn't have that exposure. I didn't have that exposure to, lawyers that look like me running law firms doing the type of things that I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
once I kind of got that exposure, it opened my mindset and let me know, hey, that is an option for me, or it is possible. It's something that wouldn't take like years and years to do. And it just, that helped encourage me to do it. So yeah.
Yeah. So was it like more that you just didn't know it was possible than like you just didn't want to do it? You know what I mean?
Um, I feel like I feel like a little bit of both. I feel like I didn't want to do it because I'm the type of person, like I said, I have my mind set on doing this one thing
Yeah,
since
yeah,
I was a
yeah.
kid. So I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I'm sticking to that. And so I was kind of stuck on that. And then also it's just like I wasn't exposed to that. So I didn't I didn't see l- lawyers doing what I do. So I also just didn't know that that was a possibility. So I'll
Okay.
say a little of both.
Okay. And so are you from? You said you're not from Texas. Where are you originally from?
So I'm from the border of where Texas and Arkansas meet. It's a town called Texarkana. So I'm kind of from both states. Well, not kinda. I am. I consider myself to be from both states because literally the city that I live in, if you go on one side of the street, is Texas. If you go on the other side, it's Arkansas. So it's like I'm in both states
Yeah.
every day, basically. Growing up. So I consider myself to be from both states. Texas and Arkansas. I know it's weird,
Yeah. And how was your childhood growing up?
but so I feel like I had a pretty typical. I don't know what the typical childhood would be, but I mean, I didn't grow up in like the most wealthiest family or anything like that. Like I have, middle class, working class family growing up. I have siblings. I really grew up around one of my siblings though, mainly. And I mean, I was just growing up, I was pretty much focused on school. I was kind of a weird kid. Like I was the type of kid who would beg my mom to buy me like workbooks and things like that.
Really, yeah.
And stuff like that. So I was really weird. I've always loved to be outside, in nature. Always pretty focused on school. Always pretty focused on making good grades. I played sports growing up, so just striving to be the best that I could be in
Yeah,
sports. I feel like I had a normal childhood, nothing fancy, just,
yeah,
working middle class family.
yeah. That's good to hear though, because like a lot of people think that in order to accomplish like great things, you got to be like just like extraordinary. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like just born with all this like different talents and just in an environment that'll just catapult
yeah,
you to like the top and all that. But um, yeah, yeah, I like to hear that. Uh,
yeah, it's possible. Even just to touch on that, like, it's possible to, not be from a wealthy neighborhood or grow up in a wealthy environment and to still accomplish, great things. But I will say it is also important to just try to surround yourself with, people who you can learn from, or try to
yeah,
put yourself in environments or situations where you can learn something from someone, and just always be open-minded to learning from people, because those things do help you grow as a person, and they do expand your mindset. Because if you don't grow up in those environments seeing lawyers or doctors and things like that, you may not be aware of everything it may take to get there, or you may not be aware of all the different opportunities or careers that are out there for you. So just expanding your mindset and just being open to learning is always a good thing. So
yeah, yeah, that's facts. And so, like speaking about environment, was Arkansas the college that you went into in Arkansas and Texas? Was it like two different environments? Because you said once you
mo-
went to Texas, you were exposed to like different.
most definitely. So the law school that I went to was predominantly white. So there weren't many people who looked like me there. And so growing up, I just wasn't used to that. So I had to kind of adjust and kind of learn how to maneuver. I will say I wasn't as, I was probably more to myself a little bit more, because it was just a different environment, hard to adjust to for me. And so just going to Texas and just being around more people who looked like me, more people who are more open to, communicating with me and
Yeah,
connecting with me, and, stuff like that. It definitely made a difference, having those people to pour into me and to come together, be able to come together with them and learn from them and with them. So
yeah. So you sound like a little bit like, are you introvert?
I am. I actually am introverted. Do you take like the personality test?
No, but I could just tell I'm
You
introverted.
can tell.
And
Okay.
yeah, and I wasn't expecting that though, because I see you on Instagram, posting videos and stuff. So like how is that for you? Because I know it's uncomfortable, because it's uncomfortable for me. Like
So it's so funny that you say that, because I get that all the time. Like when I talk to people, like clients, or just meet people, they always say like, I cannot tell that you're introverted. I can't tell through social media, because I guess I seem outgoing on my social media, which
yeah,
is good, because I've learned to be more outgoing and to not be so shy and to come out of my shell. Being an entrepreneur has definitely, I owe all of that to being an entrepreneur. Like it has definitely pushed me to step outside of my comfort zone and to learn how to get comfortable speaking and communicating with people, or even just commenting on posts, or DMing people, because that's not something I did before.
yeah,
Like I never was on social media really like commenting on people's pictures or
yeah,
posts, or
yeah,
DMing people like that on my personal Instagram page. And so it helped me just having to run your business. Like you have to do what you have to do. Like you can't be a business owner, entrepreneur, and it's especially not doing what I do, dealing with people, and not be able to communicate with them and connect with them and just like share yourself with them. Because I feel like I've always been that person that I am on social media. It's just that the people who are around me usually see that person and not, social
Yeah,
media. So
yeah.
it's just learning to share myself with people online.
So, how did you learn your branding skills? Because you do great with with your TikToks, with the
Really.
dance. You feel me? Like you do great with that, and your posts, like everything with your brand is on point. Like, how did you get there?
Thank you so, so much. Thank you. So I actually just have done a lot of research because right now I do not work with anyone on my branding. Like it's all been me. And I've just done a lot of research, taking the time to just invest in reading and truly trying to understand what things mean. That is so important to me when I'm doing anything. I like to truly understand what is branding, like what does that mean. Before becoming an entrepreneur, I did not know there was a difference between branding and marketing yourself or advertising. I thought it was all one thing, but your brand is more so of like your personality of your business, whereas marketing it could be just like tools that you use to get yourself out there, like social media or like
Yeah,
podcasts or YouTube and things like that. And so just researching and really trying to make sure that I understood what was what and what was going on. But if anyone out there is open to managing a small business social media account, let me know.
yeah. It's a full time job, isn't it?
Yes, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, especially when I still have to be a lawyer. I still have to do work for my clients. So it's a lot to try to manage a social media account or social media accounts and, still make sure I do my job.
Yeah. So going on to you being a lawyer, what are some like must do's or must knows for entrepreneurs?
Okay. So some of the things I say is a must do is I feel like it is so important to protect your brand that you're building your business around. So your name, especially your name. And I say that because you don't want to pick a name that you love. You start building your social media accounts around this name. You start putting this name on your logo. You start putting this name on your products if you sell products, your business cards, your website, and you invest all this money into those things, and then you find out later down the line that someone else already owns this name, or someone is trying to sue you because you're infringing upon their rights. So I
Yeah,
feel like before you even, for me, I advise my clients before they even register their LLC for a name. I advise them to make sure they at least get a good trademark search done to make sure that name is not already trademarked at the federal level, because your state will allow you to have that LLC name if that name is not taken within your state, but that does not mean that someone does not own that name at the federal level. So you just want to make sure that the name is available at the federal level so you don't run into any legal issues down the line. So that's one of the first things that I advise my clients to do. And then I also would say that you do want to. I know some people like to operate as solos, like they don't want to register their get an LLC and things like that for
yeah,
whatever reason. But I feel like if you're going to be doing business with people, that it is important for you to also make sure that you're protecting yourself, and that's something that having that LLC, that's something that does. It helps to limit your personal liability, which means like if someone were to sue you, they wouldn't be suing you personally, but they would be suing your business, and
yeah.
so they wouldn't be able to easily take like your personal car or home and things like that. Whereas if you don't have an LLC in place and you're just operating as a solo, then those people would be suing you and they have access to anything that you
Grabbing
own
your
personally.
pockets.
Yeah. So those are two things that I would for sure say are very important for new entrepreneurs to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just learned something because I did not know that like you have to get it on a federal level. You know what I mean? Because I have an
Yeah.
LLC, Success is Us in Illinois.
Hmm.
So that means somebody could still have that same exact name, but on a federal level.
So that means that anybody within, I mean, people could still use your name in different states. So You
Wow.
have that name in Illinois, so someone in Texas could have that same LLC name. Somewhere in California could have that same LLC name. But the person who has it registered as a federal trademark at the federal level, that person is the one who has like the legal ownership of that name. And so if someone were to be um, especially with trademarks, if they're doing like the same thing or something that's similar to what you do, then they would have that right to tell you to like stop doing it because they own that name at the federal level. And I mean, federal trumps state. So
Yeah,
your state
yeah.
LLC would be,
Dang, that's
pointless at
crazy.
that point. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, and then so like what are some of like the biggest issues that you see your clients come up to you with, or or like the most common issues?
Um, so I say I get a lot of people that come to me, one who don't have like their brand protected, so they don't have their trademark or things like that protected, so they want to get that protected, or they see someone else like using this name, so now they want to hurry up and try to get it protected before the other
Yeah,
person does. And then also just contracts. I have people come to me who don't have the proper contracts in place, which are also very, very important, especially if you are a service-based business and you're doing business with other people. You just always want to make sure you have everything in writing. I am an advocate for that because at the end of the day, if it's in writing, no one should be confused about, what's
yeah,
going on. You both have a good understanding about what to expect in your relationship with one another. So just, I feel like that trademarks, not having the trademark in place and not having the proper contracts in place.
yeah. So like a lot of people, especially like new entrepreneurs will be like, I don't need a lawyer. I don't need, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So why do entrepreneurs need a lawyer?
I feel like entrepreneurs need a lawyer because running a business involves the law. Everything involves the law, like the law is in everything. And lawyers have been trained to understand the law. They have been trained to help you understand the law and help educate you about different things that you may not be aware of. So many people just start an LLC, but they don't even know what the LLC does for them. They don't even know how the LLC helps to protect them. They just have an LLC, because that's what they hear that they're supposed to do, but they don't know that the LLC limits their personal liability. They don't know that they need to make sure that they're keeping their personal assets separate from their business assets so they don't lose their limited personal liability. Just a lawyer will help educate you about those things, the right lawyer. And also just like the trademark thing, like a lot of entrepreneurs don't know like that the trademark is what helps to protect your brand, like your business name, your logo, not your LLC, not a DBA. A DBA does not grant you any type of protection for your name. A LLC does not grant you any type of protection throughout the nation for your name. Is just at a state level. And so lawyers help you understand things like that. And then when it comes to filing those things, especially, I'll say some people can figure out how to file an LLC themselves, but trademarks, like you're going up against another attorney. When it comes to filing your trademark, like the trademark office has examining attorneys who look over your application. So you just want to make sure that you're filing those things properly and you're not wasting your time and your money trying to do it yourself and then you don't do it right and then your
Yeah,
application get rejected and then you have to reach out to someone to try to fix it for you, or respond to an office action if the trademark office tells you you can't use your that name. An attorney will know, okay, I can make this argument to get your application to get accepted. And with contracts, please don't use contracts that you find online.
yeah. Why not? Why
because
should we?
because I just feel like that's like, would you go put on someone else's like random clothes that's just laying out in the street? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
those, you don't know. For one, when it comes to contracts, like you don't know whether that contract was written for your type of business. Like that contract may not have your best interest in place. Like your business may need specific things in your contracts that that contract may not have, and you just want to make sure that you're protecting your best interest at all times. And I hear a lot from new entrepreneurs, like they say, well, I'm gonna wait until my business gets bigger or do this or that before
yeah,
I get this done. And I just feel like as a that's the wrong mindset to have as a business owner, period. You should go in it like you know your business is going to be successful, and you
Yeah,
should treat it that way, because if you treat it that way and you go in it that way, then it's likely to happen versus you just kind of going in like you don't know or you don't expect it to be big. Then you're not going to treat it like it's going to be big, and then it's not going to be big. So I feel
facts.
like if you're going to start a business, you should go in with the mindset that my business is going to be great, and you should treat it that way. You should go in protecting it from all angles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
And I feel like plus everything you said, having a lawyer just like take some weight off of your shoulders as a business owner, and it allows you to be a business owner. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta
Right.
wear too many hats and be doing too much. And then you also said something I had a question about. You said about your personal assets and your business assets, and how something about liability can be taken away or something.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So say for instance, your business has, when I say your personal assets, so I'm mainly referring to like your bank accounts, but also it could be just like your business phone, using it for personal reasons or things like that that your business owns. So those can be considered, your assets as well. But a lot of times it comes down to people come down to losing their liability when they're mixing their money, their business and their personal money together. So it's so important to make sure that you have your own business bank account in place, and then that you have your own separate personal bank account, and
Yeah,
you don't mix those funds together. It's important that you don't use your business card for personal purchases, keeping things like that separate to make sure that you help to keep your personal limit liability strong. Because if you do have an LLC in place, but you're still mixing your business and your personal funds, then if someone were to sue you, then they could say, well, they're treating their business like it's them
yeah,
anyway, so they could pierce the corporate veil and the court could say that they could have access to all of your personal assets as well. So yeah, it's important to make sure you're just keeping it separate. Use your business things that you purchase for your business, and use your personal items for your personal life, and keep them separate.
all right, all right. What were some like challenges that you had becoming an entrepreneur, or that you still
Some
have?
challenges that I had. So as we mentioned earlier, I would say the whole introverted thing, that was definitely a big challenge for me, and learning how to market myself and put myself out there. We live in a time right now where social media is so important, and so if you know how to show up on social media, and you have an outgoing personality, even just when it comes to networking, like that's something I had to learn to be better at, because it's so one of the things that they told us when I first started law school in orientation is like it's about who you know. Like they literally told us that in orientation, my first year of law school. Like so I didn't understand that still going through law school, but like when I became an entrepreneur, I feel like I started to understand that a little bit more. Like it's so important to build those connections with people, and to not be afraid to just reach out and to network with people, where if you want to collab with someone, like reach out and ask them,
Yeah,
because relationships take you a long way. So I feel like for me, overcoming being introverted and learning how to network better, and just to show up on social media and show people my personality and my shared parts of myself with people. So I feel like those were some of the biggest challenges for me, because yeah, that was totally out of my comfort zone. So
yeah. So how did you like overcome those challenges? You know what I mean?
um I overcame them just by being consistent, like making myself, well, first understanding my goals for myself as an entrepreneur, and understanding like if I wanted my business to grow, this was something that it was a non-negotiable. Like it was something that I was going to have to do. And then just the more I practiced and the more I just was consistent with it, the more comfortable I've become with getting on camera, even doing interviews like this.
Yeah,
Like I'm not as, usually I'll probably be sweating to death, just nervous and just stumbling over my words the entire time. But I've learned to become more comfortable on camera. Even creating videos helped me to be more comfortable on camera. So I used to start out like and I still try to do some videos sometimes, but like actually sitting down and create videos, sharing content for like YouTube, those are really helpful to help me get comfortable speaking and,
Yeah.
things like that. So just being consistent with creating the content, being consistent with collaborating with people. I would not allow myself to turn down collaborations if somebody reached out to me and they wanted to, collaborate on something. I would make myself do it. I wouldn't allow my fear to be like, yeah, no, I don't want to do
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but I would make myself, take that opportunity. And as time has went on, I've just become more comfortable doing it.
Yeah, no, I
But
felt
yeah.
that for real because I be nervous. Now I'm the interviewer. You feel me? Like,
Right. It's
yeah,
tough for us introverts. Shout out to the introverts that be pushing through. Like,
for real,
it's
man.
tough. And then when you're shy, like I'm introverted and I'm also shy.
Yeah,
So it was rough, but I've come a long way. And I'm grateful because it has helped me build new connections with people and build new relationships with people. And I'm really enjoying it. Like it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
good. So I'm happy.
Yeah, like you said, connections is key. Like, because I have some plans with my business, but we could talk about after the interview and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
And then you could be my lawyer. You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
just from just from one message I sent you, you feel me? We could have a
Right.
lifelong business connection. Um,
Right.
so yeah, networking is definitely key. Um, so how was what year did you start your entrepreneurship journey?
So I actually started my law firm like towards the end of last year. So it's still my me owning my own law firm is still new. Like my business is practically new. So yeah, I started last year and I've just hit the ground running since.
Yeah, yeah. How's it been so far?
It's been good. I've learned a lot. It's been consistent. I've learned what I like to do and what I want to focus on within my business, and just learning different things that work for me and that don't work for me. And more than anything, just learning to stay focused on my own goals that I have for my business. And yeah, it's been good. It's been consistent. So
Okay,
yeah, can't
okay.
complain.
How was the jump from being an employee to being self-employed?
It was scary. I'm not going to even. I won't even lie. It was scary, especially because I didn't expect to be doing it so soon. I thought, again, like I mentioned earlier, I thought that I would have years and years of working under someone before I ever started working for myself. But I feel like, not even feel like, I knew that this was what I was supposed to be doing. I prayed and talked to God. I can't speak on anybody else, but I knew that's the direction He was pulling me in. And even just being tempted, like at the time when I was like set on, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start my own law firm, like I started getting different like offers from other jobs, like just
Yeah,
temptation,
yeah,
like, oh my God, like, but then I knew that this was what I was supposed to do. So I was turning them down because I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be obedient. I know this is what I'm supposed to do.
yeah,
And so, I mean, it was scary, but I had peace about it because I knew this was the path that I was supposed to be taking, and I do not regret it. Um, God forbid. I hope I never have to. I don't think I could ever go back and like work for someone else after
yeah,
having my own business.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
How
I'm still trying to get more coming, open
yeah.
another business.
So how long did it take you to jump? Like how long was it on your mind while you were at work? Like, man, I should start my own business.
Um, like I said, like it was always in the back of my head, but it wasn't something that was just like I need to just do it.
Yeah,
I will say since like Corona hit, everything kind of slowed up with Corona. So that was kind of one of the things that kind of helped me to step out there, because it's like, well, you can't really depend on someone else. Like at any moment, like someone can
yeah,
like, determine how much money you're about to make this week or just whatever. So that was definitely a factor that kind of helped push me even more to not be so afraid and to understand like, hey, I have this whole license that I've worked so hard for. Like
Yeah.
I can take clients on my own and, do what I need to do to make money and work for myself. And so, while I was just before, I would say before Corona, it wasn't really on my mind. Still, I was thinking like,
Yeah.
I'll be okay working for someone. It wasn't like, but like I said, it wasn't just a desire that I myself had. But as things kind of Corona hit, and everything kind of gets shut down, then it's like, well, I need to go ahead and do what I need to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you said something that was key though. A lot of people be like, "Man, I don't know about that entrepreneur route. That's risky." Other
hmm,
job is risky too. I mean, you helping
hmm.
people out, like you feel me? Like,
Extremely risky.
yeah,
Like it is. And I mean, that I will say, Corona was like, it was terrible, but at the same time, like it really did help, like me to realize, like, oh my God, like I never want to depend on somebody to eat. And I just used to say
yeah,
that to myself all the time. Like, I don't
yeah,
want to have to depend on nobody to eat. Like, if someone like lets you go from your job, like, how are you going to survive? You just
yeah,
all over the place. But when you have your own business, and as long as I feel like as long as you are putting in the work and pushing yourself, I mean, yes, some months may be slower than others when you're starting out or just whatever, but as long as you continue to just keep going and you're believing in yourself and you're investing in your business, like things will happen how they need to happen. And so I'm grateful for that. And yeah, I would definitely rather bet on myself than to bet on working for someone else.
yeah,
Now, like
yeah,
I'm in that mindset set now. I haven't always been there, but now for sure.
yeah. What would you tell somebody who's like on a fence? You know?
Um, I will say this. I don't feel like everyone has to be an entrepreneur, but if you know that that's something that you're passionate about and that's something that you feel like you've been called to do and you're on the fence and you're I don't know for whatever reason you're second guessing it. I would say just have faith and make sure you have your ducks in a row and step out on faith and follow what you're passionate about. And if you know yourself and you know your work ethic and you know how driven you are, then what's going to stop you?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
stop you? Like you got it.
Nah, but work ethic is definitely key because a lot of people see like the Instagram entrepreneurs, living a life just
Hmm.
on the plane or whatever, just chilling. They think entrepreneurship is just you're your own boss. You get to nah, nah. You work more hours than you would at a nine
That's
to
a
five.
fact. That's a fact.
Yeah,
Especially starting out. Like I would literally be up from sun up to sundown just working on something because it's always something that needs to
yeah,
get done. Like
yeah,
it's always something. Like when you especially when you're first starting, it's not easy. Like it really isn't. And I don't want to sit here and come on here and like sugarcoat it like being an entrepreneur is easy because it's not. It's a lot of work. And but if you're passionate about it, if it's something that you love to do, like I don't know. It's just like you find the energy to just keep pushing and to get it done because it's
yeah,
something that you love doing. It's something that you're passionate about, and you know it's going to pay off in the end. And it won't always, be that way. Like I feel like in the beginning, most definitely, you have a lot on your plate, especially if you only have yourself and you have to do everything and be everything for your business. But as time goes on, like you'll be able to, delegate tasks to other people or just, hire someone maybe to give you a hand on different things. So it'll get better as time go on. But it is definitely a lot of work.
yeah, yeah, most
A lot.
definitely. But um, like I'll say like to people, um, them times when you don't feel like getting up, in times that you don't feel like putting in work, you will have to have a purpose and you have to have goals. Like I like to say, LeBron, for instance,
Hmm.
LeBron been in the league for I don't know what 16,
Come
almost
on.
my whole life. LeBron has been in the league. I was born 2001. He's been in the league since 2003. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that is.
But and then the NBA season is so long and so much work and so tiring, but yet year after year, he putting in the work every single day. And that's because he got to go at the end of the year. He trying to get that chip. He trying to get that, what I mean, that
Right.
ring. So them times where he in the bed, he like, man, I should be asleep. Then the ring pop up in his head, and he's like, nah, I gotta get to it. You feel me? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they don't have that drive because they don't have a goal. They don't have a purpose. You know what I mean? So you gotta find your purpose, and then it's over
Right.
with.
No, that is so true. That's so true. And on those days you don't feel like getting up or whatever, like if you were working for someone else, you would get up, And that's kind of the mindset I put myself into. Like if I was working for someone else, I'm gonna wake up on time, I'm gonna show up at
Yeah,
work on time. So I'm not going to work for myself and cheat myself. Like I'm going to get up on time, I'm going to do what I need to do as if I was working for another business. So I think of it like that as well. Like, yes, I agree with you 100%. Like, you need a goal. And then you just also need to remember, what would I do if I was working for someone else? Like
yeah.
I would get up and do what I need to do. So I feel like you should be like that with your own business as well.
Yo, that's facts, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you. You can go ahead and shout out your Instagram, your TikTok,
Oh,
whatever you.
okay. So on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, most places where you find social media, it's all Northcross Legal. You type in Northcross Legal, I'm sure I'll pop up, aka the smiling attorney. So that's my brand for me as well. So type it in, you should be able to find me
Did
on
you give yourself the
most platforms.
smiling attorney?
I did. So growing up, though, I've always been given nicknames that had to do with like smiling because I
Yeah,
smile a lot. Like I don't know, I'm always smiling, like literally in real life. Like this is
yeah.
just me. And so I don't know. One day I was just like, oh, the smiling attorney is. I just called myself. Then I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and trademark that
No, that's dope. That's
for me.
yeah,
And so I think it works for me. I like it. And a lot of people like it. They say that it's different. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you again, Shakeria, for coming on the show. And yeah, peace.
Thank you. Bye.